Real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
No problem there on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Oregon offense set to begin their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And a quick throw here. That's complete. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The defense stiffens to force fourth down following that first down gain of 8. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 11. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's 1st and 10 for the Trojans. From the gun, Aaron. Flushed out right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. For USC, such a storied program. 11 times they've been crowned national champions, beginning with the earliest way back in 1928, all the way until their most recent title in 2004. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Birch throwing the out route and complete. That's Anderson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now Birch. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
There's this out for Streets. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
But, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing on first down, Aaron. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. Second and 24. There's this out for Streets. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. The Trojans behind their new quarterback have a big lead here at intermission.
Okay, just checking in with you. How do you feel about the first half?
That's how we play. Let's go.
Be a great first half. We keep doing what we're doing, we might win this thing.
There's a lot of we's in that sentence. It's a good thing to recognize your teammates, but you remember you're leading the charge tonight, all right? So get out there and let's put this thing away. Second half. Let's go.
Hey,
Coach,
really good job out there in the first half. I should have trusted you more. That's on me.
I'm over it. All that matters is the win.
All right. Can you handle it if I open up the playbook a little bit in the second half?
Let's do it.
Let's get him.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
The winner goes on, the loser goes home as we start the second half in this semifinal matchup from Arlington. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense for the Ducks set to take over for their next possession. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 7 yards there and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. Down the numbers. There he goes. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. That is caught. It's Streets. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 yards there and a first down.
He continues to make plays, and he looks terrific out there right now. But what I've really liked, the way he's controlled this huddle, playing with a lot of...
And he is in for a USC touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Trojans add on to their lead.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
The extra point up and good. And it's now 21-0. So now following the USC touchdown, on is the kick team to send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Oregon offense set to begin their next possession. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Now they can't bring him down. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Now after the touchdown, here's Oregon set to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football.
Let's just call that play exactly what it is. Needed, because they wanted to get back in the game, and they knocked the ball free, and now they have a chance to do exactly that.
They got the chance. Now they have to take advantage. They'll run with Keller. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And this one, a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Trojan offense ready to begin their next drive. But Charles, so much of this offense the last few years centering around the combination of Marcus Washington and Isaiah Streets. Streets saying Washington's like a second brother to him. And, of course, many know the story. Isaiah's older brother, Ezekiel, tremendous athlete in his own right, but lost too soon to leukemia a year ago next week at the age of 20.
And that is really a gut-wrenching story, as you know. And you look back at their high school days right here in Texas, just outside of Houston. Zeke was the star quarterback, a 4-year starter, 8,000 passing yards. Isaiah, a year younger, he was the receiver. The two of them told recruiters, you know we're a package deal, so if you're coming to get us, you're getting both of us. And Zeke actually recruited by both of these teams playing here tonight.
And the two had dreams of playing for a national championship together, and now Isaiah with a chance to fulfill at least part of that dream. On first down, Aaron. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. He'll get this to Streets on the crossing route. 16 yards, a first down. When prepping for this semifinal matchup, we went back and saw all the tape on Isaiah Streets throughout the year. And no matter who you talk with around the game, they say Isaiah Streets, that's caught. Touchdown, USC. From 13 yards out. And the Trojans add on to their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
The offense for the Ducks set to take over for their next possession. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Birch will look to throw it. Going for the deep ball. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Birch sent to pass. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I look down at my play sheet.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
2nd and 14. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone.
And he will score. Touchdown, Ducks. Darius Washington. He scored on the ground and through the air. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The USC offense getting ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. That one good for 26 and a first down. So much made about the fact that we've got a quarterback who's never seen the field in a college football game, but if you go back to his high school days, he's played in front of crowds. Maybe not quite this size, but it wasn't abnormal for them to have 15,000, 20,000 people in the stands at his high school games, and the numbers from his senior year as a prepster, impressive. Led his team to a 14-0 record, threw for close to 4,700 yards, 37 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, and he also chipped in 11 rushing touchdowns to boot. So it's not as if this guy doesn't know what he's doing out there. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking to throw. Aaron, he'll let it go deep for Streets. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Ducks come up now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Birch. And got his man, complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, Birch. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Operating from the gun, Birch. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2nd and 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun, Birch. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19. First down now, but that clock rolling. They go play action here on first down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 5.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Quick slant caught by Streets. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Oh, wide open is Streets. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Back to throw. Aaron. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Southern Cal. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Trojans add on to their lead. Well, when we were setting up and going over our run-throughs early this afternoon, and I'm talking 6 hours before kickoff, we saw Isaiah Streets out there alone with just his young quarterback and center going through all sorts of different routes, making sure that they had everything ironed out, and it pays off there on the touchdown throw. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Oregon offense set to begin their next possession. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Looking to throw. Birch, now in desperation. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at about the 31. Throwing on first down. Aaron, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. We're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So on the strength of 3 touchdown passes in the first college start for their senior quarterback, the USC Trojans are moving on to play for a national title on Monday, January the 7th.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
That was a gutsy performance out there tonight. You took us to a national championship when nobody, and I mean nobody, expected you to. And for what it's worth, I'm really glad you stayed 4 years ago.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby, we going to the chip. Whew. One more game, baby.
We got this, man.
Oh, yeah. Football's my life, man. But you got to stay grounded in what's important. So I got a little surprise for you.
Isaiah!
Looking good, Emily. Oh, and I'm loving this hat.
Thank you.
Oh.
Absolutely. Is that magenta? Fuchsia? What color is that?
Okay. Hey, I bet he'd probably be good at off the board, huh?
Yeah.
Look, Emily has the best games.
Okay. If you had a unicorn, would you want its mane to be purple or pink?
Well,
Well, these are both tough, but good options. I'm gonna do pink, no question. Definitely pink.
pink, no question. No, look. You see, look, you don't pick from the options given. All right, the game is in the name. Off the board. Yeah, now it's clicking. Okay, look, if I had a unicorn, I'd have a mane that matches its horn. Silver.
I'd go with onyx.
Onyx. Okay. I told you, she's a pro.
Hey, how are you? Todd Atwood. I'm Emily's dad.
Hi.
Can I talk to you for a second? She's too shy to ask, but Emily wanted to know if you could do something for her in the national championship game.
Yeah, of course. Anything.
She wanted you to throw 3 touchdowns.
3? I thought I said 4.
4 touchdowns.
Oh,
Is that okay?
well, 4 touchdowns is a lot.
Yeah, but how can you turn down this face? Look at that.
But I'll see what I can do.
Yes!
Don't worry. He'll do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to see you again.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Emily.
You too.